Welcome, I'm Brian the Builder, and today I am going to be, well, at least attempting to create my own set of the Macrobinoculars that the Sand Troopers have in A New Hope. So I actually previously built in a video the Stormtrooper, Sand Trooper model kit from Bandai, and I wish that it had a set of the Macrobinoculars in the kit, which it does not. So, kind of feel like, I could go on Etsy and purchase someone else's model and print that out, but, you know, and as great as they are, and actually this is from a Hot Toys version of the Sand Trooper collectible, and this is actually a physical creation, full-size, human-size version that someone created and is selling, I think, on Etsy. That looks amazing. So if you're a cosplayer, look around on Etsy, you're gonna find all kinds of amazing stuff. And that said, I'll actually have this model once I've made it available on my little tiny Etsy store, as well as part of my Patreon page. So check those out if you're interested at all. Obviously, you can look around on Etsy and find a place you can get these very readily. But if you're interested in actually following along and modeling your own, why not? It's pretty cool to be able to do this kind of stuff. With all of that, I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna make this out of pretty basic elements, because once it's printed at the 1/12 scale for the Bandai model kits, most of that really tiny detail, I don't know that you would see any of these little ring details around the lens kind of piece. But we'll see. I'll probably model all of it and just see what ends up being noticeable once it's printed. It does look like these are the small versions, right? I don't think this is 1/6 scale. I think this toy is 1/12 scale also, not positive. But yeah, I guess at 1/12 scale, some of this really fine detail may not print at all. Pretty hard to see in this image anyway, but you can definitely tell there's the little bumps around the lenses there. So we'll see. I'll try and make all the stuff, and we'll see how it prints. All right, so let's get going. I should probably actually put actual numbers in here because I know the vertical should only be 5mm. So let's make sure we get our proportions right. I don't know what the exact distance is across here, but I know that this is 5mm, at least the hand of my Bandai toy model kit is a 5mm gap. So I'm just trying to, at this point, figure out the proportions, and I think maybe might be a little wider, actually. This spot seems to be handled differently in different things. I'm guessing that might be more accurate. It's hard to tell. Some of that detail, I suppose, is just not going to be super vital, that it needs to be hyper accurate. Alright, so let's just kind of keep moving forward and getting close. think that is a pretty passable set of Sand Trooper binoculars. I'm pretty happy with that. So I am going to get this exported. We'll bring it into Chitu Box to get it sliced. And then I'm gonna send it off to print and see how it comes out. All right, so I'll be back in just a sec. So now in Chitu Box, this is how the STL imported. So it looks like I could have made these little sphere objects a little higher resolution, but I don't think you'll notice the facets. Once it's printed, everything's going to be so tiny. And then once it's painted, I really don't think you'd notice the facets after that. Otherwise, I think everything looks pretty good. It should fit into the hand of my Stormtrooper and Sand Trooper models. So I'm going to go ahead and rotate this 45 degrees. Yeah, that should be fine. Then I'll end up putting the supports kind of under the hood there. That should be the least noticeable spot if there's any marks from the supports being removed. So let's go ahead. This should end up being a really simple print. I'm going to go with medium supports, and I'll add, actually, I'm going to go with light supports, let it make a lot of little ones. Then I'm going to go make some medium ones to help make sure that nothing comes loose from the build plate as the print starts. Put just a couple more on the flats here. Yeah, this whole edge is going to be a problem. So, light supports. Let's actually make the contact diameter even smaller. My hope is that's enough. And all right, so let's check it. pen. Well, these don't seem like they're going to be fantastic. We might end up doing a little bit of damage to the model, but it is what it is. We'll find out. All the rest of the little undercuts should be supported. Those are the only two that I'm pretty sure it came up with, so we'll check one more time. Alright, now it does not have any. One of the main issues that seems to happen with me in any failed 3D print I've had was just the first couple initial layers not staying attached. So I've had pieces where kind of the entire support structure printed, and that basically printed in a whole bunch of weird layers on the FEP or whatever that's actually called, the plastic film. So a couple heavier supports right at the base should help that stay stuck as the rest of that is printed. After that, there shouldn't be any point in time where there's more resistance or I guess attachment to the plastic than there is to the support structure. So let's hope anyway. Alright, so I'm going to save this and I'm going to get it going in the printer, and I'll be back at the bench when it's time to paint it up. Okay, well, here is obviously the 3D printed piece. I did fold a couple of the fins over, putting it into his hand, but his hand does hold it quite nicely, even though those fins broke a bit. This is a very thin little shield guard there, so I'm going to have to be careful with that. But this thing's so tiny and kind of hard to hold on to that I don't know how great it's going to be for seeing the painting process, so we'll give that a shot. And get it weathered up, and it's going to look really, really cool when it's done. It's definitely not an identical match. It is an homage to what's in the film, but it turned out really cool. I kind of love that I have the ability to, in one day, decide I'm going to model an add-on part for any project and be able to 3D model it, print it, paint it, weather it, all in one day. It's kind of amazing, actually. So, well, let's get it painted. Alright, so I primed it with white. So now I'm going to apply the first coat, and I'm going to use Pallid Witch Flesh, which is a Citadel color. It's a little bit off-white. It's slightly warm. And for the weathering I'm going to do, it actually should make for a very nice base coat. All right, so this should go pretty quick. Here we go. Alright, so with a little weathering on there, that really did turn out great. So let that sit and focus. So now with the dismembered hand of a trooper here, let me back my camera up just a little. The hand will actually, I'm probably going to scrape off some paint, but so the hand holds on to the binoculars really nicely. Definitely firm in the grip there, that's not going to fall out. So now just to swap out the hands on my little sand trooper diorama, and this is good to go. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to hit that like button, and please go ahead and subscribe. And if you have any need for that model or anything else that I've built on my channel, custom 3D modeled anyway, you can either purchase them individually off my Etsy page, or if you join me on Patreon, there is one of these models that will be freely available every month, and depending on the level of membership, more than one will be available. So check that stuff out, and please, again, don't forget to hit that like button and please subscribe. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.